try something else. Let me see if I can figure out what chat he's in. Okay, all right. I'll be right back. Give me 2 seconds. I'm enjoying his butt, Shaq. Hello, everybody.
Oh my gosh.
What's going on?
Summit, the reason your chat says balls and ass is because I went to your chat to ask you if we're playing Delta Force now or in 30 minutes, and then Hutch told my guys to go over there and spam balls and ass so you wouldn't see it.
Okay.
I'm very sorry, good sir.
Okay. Well, I do appreciate the clarification. I was confused for a second.
Yes, yes.
I thought it was something I said.
No, you're in the clear. You're good to go. But I do wonder, do we
So
start?
I'll see you in 30, right?
Do we do it in 30 or doing it now?
I think we're doing it in 30.
Okay.
Yes, I was told 8:30 my time.
Got it. Okay, sounds good. I'll see you in 30. Wait, we got 30 more minutes of operators, boys. 30 more minutes of operators. We got 30 more minutes of operators. He says 9:30. He says 9:30.
That's you.
What do you mean?
I was supposed to start at 9.
For fuck's sake.
The only reason 9:30 was my thing was because I was told I was playing with you because...
Are you playing with me?
Not if I have a sponsor, but nobody's answered me, so I don't know who the fuck I'm supposed
What's
to be
happening?
That's what I'm saying.
How about you just play on with me until someone answers?
That's okay.
Because I mean, in reality, let's just say
It's
you
not
do
my
screw
fault,
up,
yeah.
and you're supposed to start at 9 and not 9:30. You can just play an extra 30 minutes, and they won't care. It'll be fine.
And plus, it's not my fault, so...
Yeah, plus it's not your fault. Yeah. Okay, all right, sounds good. Let's ride. We got a new map mode switch in 3 seconds. That was a good waste of time. Now I can really do something cool. One moment, gang. One moment, gang. Get a little bit of goop. Also, fuck you guys for putting balls in ass. We could have solved that 5 minutes ago. Fuck you guys. Grab this thing right here. Here we go. One of these. 1, 2 of those. And something from Mr. Chicken Man. Here we go. Okay. And then we got these and some shield recharges from Mr. Shiny. Dude, I'm almost up to 500,000 space dollars, Mr. Officer. You were doing pretty good. They're still just typing balls and ass in my chat.
Excellent.
You wasn't even my chat. You were supposed to be typing it in. Dumbass! Little bit more goop. Little bit more goop. Okay, I'm good to go. Ready?
Almost. Where the...
Dylan Dennis paid me $50 more and says Peanut talks like he runs the stream. Meanwhile, it's held together by viewbots and
pretty exceptional. Finding ways to get to the line, but shoots the heck out of it, and a guy that just is going to be a lot of fun to watch, and definitely at the top of the scouting report.
29 points in a miracle win earlier this week. Fresno State took down UNLV inside the Save Mart Center in Fresno. The Bulldogs scoring 12 points in the final 36 seconds. So yeah, they're coming in off a crazy one. Corey Camper Jr. coming in off of another career high. He dropped 35 big ones on the road at Boise.
And Corey just keeps setting a new career high. It feels like every single night Corey's coming out shooting the ball better than he did the night before. I mean, he was on fire against Boise. Got the pack all the way back into that game, but I mean, he just shoots it. The sets they run for him are great, and a lot of fun to watch that kid shoot the basketball.
Back to we got starting lineups and tip-off next here in Reno.
All right. I hope everything is working. Hungry.
The fireworks going off in Lawler. We're nearly ready to play basketball. First things first, let's introduce the third member of our team. It is Shannon Kelly, courtside. Hey, Shannon.
Mountain West regular season play is winding down and the pressure is ramping up as it approaches March. Nevada head coach Steve Alford said he told his guys they need to be able to handle the pressure of playing meaningful basketball in February. And he added, if we want to compete against the upper echelon of this league, we have to be on point defensively. Meanwhile, at Fresno State, head coach Vance Wahlberg and his squad come into Reno coming off an emotional high after that huge victory against the Runnin' Rebels the other night. Coach Wahlberg said that is the craziest game he has ever been a part of in his 48-year coaching career. So he hopes it'll certainly be a turning point for his team here in Reno this season. And on another note, we'd like to pass along an injury update as Nevada's Joel Armo trading is available for this contest. He started the first 7 games of the season after suffering a chest injury in the Washington game on Thanksgiving. So that would certainly give Nevada some more help up front and around the rim.
Shannon, thank you so much. Big get for the Pack to have Armo trading back as we dive into your starting lineups. There's Fresno State, Hyde Breeder, David Douglas Jr., Bastian Reber, Wilson Jack, Deshaun Gorey, the standout freshman. Your starting lineups brought to you by Champion Chevrolet. For Nevada, it's a lineup we've seen a lot of late. Tayshawn Comer, your starting point guard. There's Corey Camper Jr. coming off back-to-back career highs. Von Weems, the
Corey
other guard.
Camper is that boy, number 4.
Lowry and Elijah Price, the, of course, Fresno State transfer who had a big game in the first meeting between these two in Fresno just over a month ago. But here we are, February 7th, playing
Fresno State,
Mountain
Nevada,
West
here we go.
basketball. Let's get things rocking.
Getting close to
here
March Madness,
at the
y'all.
Lawler Event Center. The ball is tipped. Tip off brought to you by BTX Logistics. Let's hoop as the guys work through the early game haze that shows up with the pyrotechnics, Nick.
A little bit of pyrotechnics before the game always makes it fun for the fans, Mike.
Right down low to Lowry they go. Quick shot up and over, no good. Rebound, Hyde Breeder. Long, lanky guard who can really shoot it. Here's Reber. Now Hyde Breeder. Bulldogs are working around now. Douglas Jr. with Lowry chasing him.
I didn't check the line on this game.
Back to Douglas. Under 10 to shoot. Price tips it out of bounds. Bulldogs ball, 6 seconds to get up a shot.
Very methodical first possession. A lot of kind of going back and forth there, dribbling, coming back, keeping it on the left side. 6 seconds to go for the Bulldogs.
Reber inbounding. There's Hyde Breeder. Creates a little space, takes some contact, and that's what he can do. Whether outside or in, he is a crafty player. We talked with head coach Steve Alford for Nevada in the lead up to this one, and he said he's an Indiana guy, so he knows how to cut and he knows how to shoot. And you saw an example of it there. He gets to the line.
Like we talked about, Mikey's a just sub 90% free throw shooter, which anyone that knows, if you can get into that 50, 40, 90 club, and 90% from the free throw line can always be the most trickiest part, just because you get a couple that don't go down and it just kind of tanks your percentage. But I would expect Heidbreeder to make the majority of these if he can get to the line.
Entering a 90.7% free throw shooter, 2 for 2 to start this one. Keys to the game brought to you by Bradley Drendel. Fresno State, simply don't damage yourself. This is a Bulldogs team that often turns it over.
They do turn it over. It's just south of 14.
Easy.
Good pass there
Easy.
by Corey, but yeah, Mike, like you said, it's kind of shoot yourself in the foot. Coach Wahlberg kind of talked about that, where he doesn't want to see his team do that and turning the ball over. And contrary to that, you got a Nevada team that's really good at not turning the ball over. It's kind of two opposites here, and probably something to keep an eye on.
Red bucket.
Gets loose and knocks another one down, but
3 ball.
something to keep an eye on, just that turnover margin as the game goes along, because
Yeah, what's good, bro?
a pretty big part in a close game.
The pace picking up in this one as you saw Heidbreeder knock down the well-executed open 3 right before that. Nevada gets its first bucket.
I appreciate you, man. Thank you.
Von Weems.
Thank you.
For Nevada, play the full 40, because that was a theme coming off that Tuesday overtime loss at Boise State.
Yes, it was, Mike. That was a spot him 20 and see if you could get back. That was almost like when you're playing your little brother in the backyard and you give him 8 and you're playing to 11. That's exactly what that felt like. And Nevada climbed the mountain there.
Camper.
Corey, the way he shot it, had a couple
Corey
looks like
Camper.
that against Boise.
Man had a career high last game in the loss.
You attest to is that that's a big key, is to come
He's definitely
out
gonna be one of the
set
players that
tone
you're gonna look
here
for tonight.
The first 5-7 minutes to make sure that the crowd gets behind you and Fresno knows that you mean business tonight.
Right to the rim went Corey Camper Jr. His first shot up and in. 5-4 early Bulldogs lead. We're in 2 minutes into this ball game. There's Gorey trying to go up and over. Tipped by Camper, but right into the waiting arms of Jack. The lefty hook is good.
Jack with a nice lefty hook.
Before you can blink, Weems.
I hear rushing shots. Can't do that.
No good, and here comes Heidbreeder with a full head of steam.
Use that shot clock, man. 3 ball.
Douglas Jr.'s 3, no good.
Big up the other side of the rim.
Only field goal in that win over UNLV Tuesday came in those waning seconds. What a meltdown for the running Rebels, which of course Pac fans love to see wherever it is. And what an epic win, as Shannon mentioned. Coach Wahlberg's been in the game for some nearly 5 decades. He said that's the craziest game, craziest win. I don't even know how they pulled it off. He told us over the phone.
Excuse me.
I mean, it was a nutty game, and that's why you get to play the sports, right? You get everything on paper, and you kind of look at it. You got these spreads now, and you can look at that. You can kind of assume who's going to win and who lose, but that's the best part about sports, is it's kind of who shows up that night or that day, and that's why I think that's why you get so many people that love it, and that's why we enjoy calling it.
Such a great call. Could have never projected that one with all the stats coming in. You saw Price a touch of happy feet there as he gets one of his first touches of the game. He travels, ball the other way. Fresno with the lead and the rock 3 minutes in.
Yeah, Mike, sometimes Elijah catches it there at the elbow, and sometimes I almost feel like he gets a little stuck. I don't know that he quite has the confidence to shoot that jumper, religiously. And I think sometimes he kind of second guesses himself, and then he kind of chatters his feet. And that's kind of what happened there. But keep an eye on Jack in this Elijah matchup as Jack gets this offensive rebound against Elijah, because at times the bigger centers that Elijah kind of has to guard, after Joel went down and Elijah moved into that 5 spot per se, he was guarding some bigger guys, and that's really not Elijah's, that's not the best thing that he does. It was kind of nice for him to get to guard the smaller 4, where then you had Joel to go down there and bang. And I know Joel's active tonight since it's been a long time since he's played, so it will be nice to maybe get to see that Elijah and Joel combination once again.
That is certainly not what they envisioned when they assembled this roster, of course, that Price would have to slide into that biggest man on the floor role. As Joel Armotradian, we expect to return to action tonight, missing the last 16 games with that chest injury. The transfer out of UC Riverside. 7-4, Bulldogs with the lead. Here's Gorey. Looking for Heidbreeder on the back cut. His corner pass to Douglas Jr., boy. Right place, right time. The 3 ball's in, and it's a quick start for the Bulldogs.
Fresno's just methodically, it's almost like the 5 pass rule by these guys right now. Just kind of making the Pack work real hard on defense, and got to stay, you know, locked in. Again, we talked about it prior, Mike, where this is maybe a bit of a trap game for the Pack. Fresno kind of coming in with nothing to lose. And just too big game for both sides. No questions about it.
And that's something Coach Wahlberg was very curious to see how his
In the
guys
four,
respond
Fresno
after
State
such a
up by
thrilling,
6 early in the first
emotional
half.
win. So far, so good if you're a Bulldog fan, as the team in red has certainly brought the energy into Lawler Event Center. Speaking of energy, you saw Price go right to the rim strong, draw the foul. His first free throw of the night is good. The redshirt sophomore entering this one just a tick under 75% from the line. 2 for 2 is Price. First sub of the game will be Chuck Bailey III as Lowry takes a seat. Maybe 1A on keys to the game for Nevada was get the bench going. Just 3 points in over 50 minutes of play in that Tuesday game at Boise State. Coach Alford quick to say that bench needs to be more consistent. They have confidence in that group.
This is a bit uncharacteristic with how deep Fresno knocks another one, but Nevada's kind of hung their hat all season on the depth that they've had. They've been able to go 8, 9, 10 deep from the very get-go, and very uncharacteristic that the bench couldn't do that. But Fresno has clearly come here into the biggest little city ready to go.
How about Reber hitting his first shot, the freshman out of France. Already hit his 2.9 point scoring average. May have gotten some contact on that three as well, wasn't called. Price will shoot it at the free throw line. And that's the kind of shot Fresno will take all day from Elijah.
They definitely will take that. I mean, you're going to live with Elijah shooting. It's not a shot he's comfortable with.
Douglas Jr. left short, but that's another good look for Fresno State as here comes Comer the other way. He'll stop and pop it. Mid-range, short. Bailey got a hand on it, but bounces it to the Bulldogs, and here comes Reber.
Almost a weird energy right now, wouldn't you say, Mike? I mean, if you're not in this building, it seems pretty flat. The Pack seem a little bit flat. And I think Fresno kind of sees an opportunity sitting here in front of them.
Fans waiting for something to cheer for as Jack tips his own miss in, and that is certainly a mismatch thus far. Down low is the big fella, also from France and also a freshman, gets his second bucket. Bailey's three, in and out. And the tension builds for Pack fans as Reber goes all the way, can't get the bucket to fall. He's behind the play now. Bailey this time will put his head down, drive, leans, three.
Good.
That'll help. Pack are very, very tough when they can get stops and they can get out transition, right, Mike? We've seen it all year, and you can get easy looks. You can get that three-point shot going. That's when the Pack really, really start to roll, but they got to get stops. I mean, Fresno's definitely been able to kind of like pick them apart with a couple passes back and forth. As far as good contest.
Bulldogs looking bouncy early on, riding a 6-point lead into the first time out of the night.
Sports fans, we cheer on our favorite teams at fields, gyms, arenas, and stadiums. But have you ever wondered what it's like to be a referee? Verbal abuse from fans, parents, and coaches is the #1 reason why many referees are walking away. And they're not being replaced quickly enough by new ones. So put yourself in the official shoes, act with respect, and be officially human.
Credit Union One offers everything you need to get the most out of your accounts every day. With digital banking, you can pay bills online, set up personalized budgeting tools, easily transfer money between accounts, and more. Plus, you can get paid up to 2 days sooner when you set up direct deposit. Get started at cu1.com.
Old Trapper Beefs. Camp Cravings.
There you go, buddy. Have fun.
This is not going to be pretty.
We're camping. What could possibly go wrong? No. That did not go as planned.
It never does.
Trapper, what's your beef?
One law firm for people who want to be treated like they're number one.
Just over 6 minutes into this one, the visitors with some early energy and a 15-6 lead for Fresno State. Alongside Nick Rizquez, Mike Stephenson here. Thrilled to have you with us wherever you may be watching, whether locally via Nevada Sportsnet or elsewhere through the Mountain West Network. Seeing the Bulldogs already with an advantage off of turnovers and 5-0 second chance points.
5-0 second chance points. I mean, Fresno's just playing with better energy. I mean, offensively, they're getting better looks. The pack look a little bit flat, and like we've been saying, Fresno kind of sees an opportunity sitting here, and you got to start early. You want to hit first. That's something that you can set the tone, especially on the road with.
Bailey's three, halfway down and out. Into the game for Nevada, Amir Robinson and Tyler Rollison. In for Fresno State, Zayon Collins. As well as Cameron Foss. This is Collins with Weems on him. Out to Gorey. And down to Jack. 5 to shoot, it's Heidbreeder with it. He'll try to bounce it down to Jack. Jack's got to hit the deck. Ball gonna end up in the hands of Weems. Solid Nevada defense. Pack trying to turn it into offense. Weems.
We ball.
Lips out. Students were ready to explode. Instead, it's still a 6-point Bulldogs advantage. Worth noting, also Nevada without one of its key bench players, the freshman Peyton White. Not even in the arena. He is sick tonight as Heidbreeder's three is a little strong. So subtract White. Ideally add Armo trading. We'll see if Joel ends up making his return here in this first half. Meanwhile, a foul is called into the game. Jariah Coleman, as Elijah Price will take his first seat. Jack sits down for Fresno State. Enter Gasper Kosovar.
Will be interesting to see when Joel checks into this game and kind of what maybe, you know, how in shape he is and kind of his rhythm. I'm sure Steve has a pretty good understanding of where he's at, but I think it'll be fun for everybody in this building to kind of see what he looks like and kind of maybe the rust or maybe lack of rust that there is with Armor Trading when he does check in.
Oh, good play on the pump fake.
Touch strong. Ball grabbed by Foss. Bulldogs have it.
Bit of a lid on that basket down there.
How about
15 to
Fresno
9.
State currently doubling up Nevada on the boards, 10-5. That is a trend that is going to have to change if Nevada wants to rally back in this one. Corey going to rim out. He'll get to the line, though, as we hit the under 12 timeout. Both teams, we'll talk about it again. No scoring since we last left you. 15 to 9, Bulldogs lead.
Credit Union One Free Checking has everything you need to bank on the go. Make deposits and more with our highly rated mobile app. And get your direct deposit up to 2 days sooner with CU1 Early Pay. Open your account in minutes at creditunion1.org.
Gatorade has the #1 proven electrolyte blend, designed to hydrate better than water, made to rehydrate, replenish, and refuel, so you can lose more sweat and run the game. Gatorade, is it in you?
There we go.
broadcast is brought to you by your Northern Nevada Toyota dealers. Toyota, let's go places. And by Renown Health, offering the area's first integrated academic health system.
Welcome back to Lawler Event Center. The Wolfpack welcomed a record crowd of 11,997 fans here at Lawler Event Center in Nevada's last game against UNLV. And the student section was a big reason why we're hanging out at the Wolves' Den. More than 2,200 students were here during Nevada's game against UNLV. More than 1,600 students were here during Nevada's game against Grand Canyon. So 2 record student sections the last 2 games here at Lawler Event Center. And head coach Steve Alford said after that game against Grand Canyon, the students were a huge reason why the Wolfpack was able to pull it away in overtime.
Shannon, thank you. Yes, it was quite an environment last Friday. A rare Friday night game here inside Lawler Event Center. They announced 11,997. There was some fan pushback and wondering if maybe they've seen more butts in the seats, even going back to your epic playing days. The school announced it. We're going to roll with it. Nonetheless, there weren't many open seats, and it was plenty loud in here.
It was super loud. It was a super fun environment. I'm going to have no say in the record setting, but nonetheless, it was a lot of fun that night. Big win against the Rebels.
Another turnover.
You love to see when Lawler's filled up that high because it's just it's a really fun venue when you can get that many people in this place.
This is a floater.
Quick shot hits the glass.
Amper with a rebound.
This was after Nevada had turned it over. Pack one of its last 8 from the field. Nearing 3 minutes now of a scoring drought as the Bulldogs are bringing it on both ends. Now up 8.
Can't find a way to get any rhythm here offensively, and Fresno just kind of
Amper's open on the right
a very
side.
boring basketball game, I guess you could say.
Now 5 to shoot. Mir Robinson gonna have to do something with it. Into the paint, around the defense, not gonna go. And that's exactly the kind of shot you want.
On a fast break.
Collins with a head of steam.
3 ball.
Left open.
Actually, they have a defense about Nevada.
Jariah Coleman, the kid out of Alaska, playing a lot more in the absence of Joel Armo trading. Here's Rawlison trying to maneuver his way in. Ends up in the hands of Coleman. He knows what to do with it.
Those are the easy ones that can break you out of a little bit of
is presented by your Northern Nevada Toyota
scoring
dealers
trend
and by Renown
anytime
Health.
you can get a dunk, it's definitely beneficial to get the easy ones and keep getting stops. I mean, that's the thing that kind of happened at Boise for the Pack is that I think a lot of what happened, Mike, was the offense was just so poor, and playing as long as I did, you could always sense that when the offense was poor, it kind of seeped into the defense. I know a lot of fans and a lot of people that maybe might be the novices, they always just think the offense is what can bring momentum, but there's a lot of the defense as well where it's if you can get defensive stops and you can kind of come down and you can shoot threes and you can get into an offensive rhythm via the stops that you get defensively, it can build offense as well. And obviously vice versa, right? You're knocking threes down, you got a little bit more energy because everyone's shooting the ball and now you're defense. But it's kind of now 2 games in a row here for the Pack where their defense has been a little lackadaisical and it's seeped into the offensive end, and you got 11 points with halfway through the first half.
This is almost right where Nevada was Tuesday in Boise as Heidbreeder just finds a lane.
That's crazy.
Just flings it up, takes the contact, much to the chagrin of the crowd. He will get 2 free throws. Coach Alford letting the officials hear it. And yes, it was a 30-10 deficit about 12 minutes into that game in Boise. As you get another look there, maybe with the offhand there by Robinson.
I mean, can't always be rewarded when you're playing poor basketball. As Heidbreeder misses, I didn't think we'd see that tonight, but maybe the ball doesn't lie. That's the cliche statement, right, Mike? Is the ball doesn't lie. So maybe he didn't get fouled.
If you weren't going to say it, you know I was. And now a chance of Sonic Blast, Phil Lawler Event Center. We'll rarely see Heidbreeder miss 2 in a row. Nevada once again found itself down 20 as you get a look at Coach Wahlberg. Down 20 at Boise. Battled all the way back to force overtime. Tayshawn Comer, part of an epic second half comeback for Nevada. In that overtime period, though, advantage Broncos. Nevada leaves with that tough 91-87 loss. Would have been a big road win for the Pack. Certainly got to have this one if you're Nevada. Bailey with it. Once again, 5 to shoot. Nevada working it down again. Camper.
Camper.
Right place, right
Bucket.
time.
Listen, that man Corey Camper Jr. is a walking bucket.
Kind of just take his time. He didn't have anything. Get it to Corey in his little sweet spot right there in the elbow, and that's a money shot there for Corey.
Bulldogs have only hit one of their last 9 shots. Still holding on to a 5-point lead, though. Reber back in. Pardon me. Collins swinging it.
Oh, open man. Can't capitalize on the open 3.
High for it is Rollison. Rollison was the hero in the early January
Wolfpack
between these two.
going for the quick 3. Short. We're bringing the offensive rebound and gets the foul.
Back is fouled. He'll head to the line. So early energy off the bench for Jariah Coleman.
Good energy from Jariah. He's definitely been kind of a little bit of a bright spot, right? I mean, Jariah's a big body. Had that ball kind of fall right into his hands, which nothing wrong with that. Right place at the right time. I can remember doing that plenty of times. But Jariah's been, you know, he gets out in transition. He's obviously a great shot blocker. He dunks the ball a lot easier than I used to, I can say that. But definitely been a bright spot as Joel has kind of been out of the lineup for so long. And yeah, the Packer kind of searching for anything here as they kind of subbing in guys in and out, trying to find any sort of rhythm offensively to try to break out of this. But I mean, Fresno's got no field goals in the last 5:45, and they're still up 5. That's probably a big bonus or a big positive over there for Coach Wahlberg and the Bulldogs.
A lot of other Mountain West teams might have extended that lead. No disrespect to the Bulldogs, but a prime opportunity for the visitors, and yet to really take advantage of it as Nevada tries to claw its way back. Coleman goes 1 of 2 at the line. He entered tonight 60%. He takes a seat. Price is back in. Weems as well. And Comer. Douglas is in the corner. Another look for Douglas Jr., and this one goes through, his second 3 of the night. He's letting them fly. 2 of 6 now.
2 of 6, yeah. Like you said, Mike, I mean, this is almost the same spot that the Pack were in against in Boise, and they did extend the lead, right? I mean, I think that was like 32 to 11 at that point, and right now 14 to 21. I mean, the Pack got to be feeling pretty lucky that that's where they're sitting.
It should be worse, right?
Yeah, it should be a lot worse.
Price up and in, his first field goal right at the rim. Expect him to continue to put his fingerprints on this game against his former program. 1 year with Fresno State. Makes a Mountain West transfer move to Nevada. Tries to get that one, but Gorey. Long.
Really nice floater. Nice touch there by Gorey as he went up and over Elijah. I like that shot.
And he's a kid that's really coming along as a true freshman. Coach Wahlberg saying, I'm loving what I'm seeing on offense. If only he can keep that energy on the defensive end. Weems, 3, too strong. And there's Gorey with the rebound. Rebor look down low. Price gets his hands on it. It's a turnover. Pack has numbers. Weems. Count it.
Really strong part of Vaughn's game is when he can get into transition and he can finish at the rim like that. That's definitely his specialty when he's shooting the ball like that.
Momentum into the break. 23-18 Bulldogs lead. Armo Trading will enter when we return to the biggest little city. You're watching Pack Hoops on NSN.
Old Trapper Beefs.
I love Old Trapper. I love how tender it is. Don't forget the wood smoke flavor.
What about the clear bag?
That shows you exactly what you're getting.
Savory beef.
Quality ingredients. I'm their biggest fan.
Old Trapper, what's your beef?
What's up, Dexter? What's going on, bro?
Your first visit is just $29.
We're back in Reno. Good one brewing between Nevada and Fresno State. While we have a second, we would love to look at the last meeting between these two because it was a doozy. First game of the new year for both sides. Nevada visiting Fresno State. Worth noting the Pack has really dominated this series as of late. Boy, this game came down to the final few frames as it was in the balance with seconds remaining. Tyler Wallison, that's a game-winning bucket. That's not easy either. Left hand, right side.
That is not easy, and he was able to get around Eyebreeder there and finish, like you said, with that left hand on the right side. But we know TR's got that ice in his veins. We watched him make those 3 free throws against GCU to take that into overtime. But yeah, that was a big win on the road. Very low-scoring game there in Fresno, and just a must-win when you do get into Fresno, because that's a game that, you know, a lot of the teams that are over the top of the conference are going to win.
All right, here is Joel Armo trading. First time on the floor since Thanksgiving of 2025. What a welcome sight in Nevada's Thanksgiving Day loss to Washington. He took an elbow to the chest. He has spent the last 2+ months waiting for it to heal as Weems completes the three-point play. And the big fella is back for Nevada, and no one happier than that man, Steve Alford.
100%. I mean, to get this Joel, Elijah, you know, mixture back and kind of just, I mean, it was working, right? I mean, it felt good when that happened, and just a really freak injury against Washington. I just remember watching the game, and it was like you didn't even really think anything happened, and then just 2 months later, he's finally back in the lineup.
Armo trading out of the UK, and it would appear that he is wearing some sort of chest protector as Gory's three.
Oh, big three bucket.
Nothing but the bottom. The Fresno fans in attendance are on their feet. Officials want to take a look, though, as that may have still been in the palm of his hand, although live and with the light on the backboard, it felt like it looked good. We're going to hang out and watch it back. It'll be hard to tell on that one. Of course, he felt good about it.
Hard to tell, but like you said, Mike, live, it looked like he got it off.
I think neither of those angles will give a 100% correct
inconclusive
answer.
evidence.
And it's got to be conclusive, as we know. As the Bulldogs will await right now, sitting with a 7-point lead. And yes, officials rule. Three-point goal is good, and that was way behind the line. Oh, yeah.
Big-time shot by a big-time freshman.
Bulldogs going to need a few more of them if they want to lead the BLC with a win, but so far so good, a 26-19 lead. Of course, Fresno State thinking it should have won this game back at the Save Mart Center just over a month ago. Rollison proves to be the hero as Nevada sort of, don't want to say steals
26-19.
Dramatic fashion and sends the Bulldogs home sour, so they would love to return.
And a turnover.
And just over a month later, ball back
by
to
Nevada.
Fresno State off of another Nevada turnover.
Fresno has definitely come out and hit first. They've definitely come out and captured the momentum, kind of taking the air out of Lawler. That's pretty evident right now if you're sitting here courtside. There is not a lot of energy. You can probably hear these guys calling out screens because there is not a whole lot of noise in here, right?
I'll tell you what, there's a good crowd too.
Yes.
And they have yet to really have much to go crazy about as Douglas Jr. misses. He's 2 of 7 now from deep. He gonna keep shooting them. Approaching 6 minutes to play here in the first half. Pack trailing by 7. Pack has trailed the whole way.
Yeah, one thing to note with Joel is I mean, he's got that protective, whatever it is underneath there. You obviously can't see. I can remember when I cracked my ribs and took a shot to my ribs. It was definitely like a protective thing that you take some time to get used to, and then you kind of need to take a hit before you really know what it feels like. Because in practice, you're probably kind of gingerly going through it. Of course, there's not as much live practice here in February as there is in November. And until you take that first hit, it's kind of always on your mind of what it's actually going to feel like.
Got his hands on the ball there. And
nice pass. Oh, you missed the.
Oh, but they'll call a foul.
All right.
The
Almost.
block looked clean by Gasper Kosovar, but with the body, that may have been a different story. It'll send Armo Trading to the line.
That was a beautiful dime,
giving
though.
the official who made the call a bit of a look.
And you can see Coach Alford was definitely trying to get Joel into the game and get him a rhythm, so you could see they ran that set, especially, or I mean specifically for Joel as he knocks the free throw down. And positive sight to see him making free throws, and I mean, he looks good. I mean, he looks like he's moving well. He's not huffing and puffing. He looks like he's in good shape.
So far, so good for the big guy. 6 points, 5 rebounds he was averaging before he was injured. A block a game as well. Just under 80% from the line. He's 2 for 2 to start. Hydebreeder with it now. Bulldogs with the ball and a 5-point lead. 6 minutes left here in this first half. First home game here in February for the Pack. Collins drops
Good move, baseline. Oh, beautiful fake.
Armo Trading, a nice patient move and bucket there by Kochevar.
Good action there by Zayon as he kind of trapped Miles there and found an angle there. Got Joel in the air for an easy 2.
Price goes baseline. Camper's open, but he stepped out. A rare mistake by the Pack's leading scorer leads to yet another Nevada turnover. Bulldogs right now 4 of their last 5.
Very, very weird rhythm in this game right now. It's just, there's not a whole lot of energy, I just feel like, on either side, right? I mean, Fresno's kind of methodically running their sets, doing their thing, but Nevada just kind of looks out of sorts right now.
I think that bleeds into the broadcast as well, as we're trying to find our rhythm. Oftentimes the game leads us. As Corey has it off the bounce pass, back out to Reber. Big shot in front of Price, left it short. High up for the rebound is Camper. Here comes Miles Walker, the freshman recently checking in.
Floater.
Popping way off.
Loose ball foul.
Armo Trading adds insult to injury, commits the foul. Reber hits the deck. Ball back to the Bulldogs, and yet again another empty possession for the home team.
21 points here is just not what you want. I mean, I've always been a firm believer, Mike, that when you're a good offensive team, it's obviously it can be kind of a, what do I want to say, it kind of can be a bonus to where it's like certain teams can't get into the 80s and 90s, right? There's just certain teams that offensively that don't have that firepower, so you can kind of come out and you can win games just by getting to 85 against some of the teams that might be lesser than you. But you start playing games in the 60s, I mean, you're liable to lose to anybody. I mean, you go down the street and go play McQueen High School and you can lose to them if you score in the 60s. So I've always been a big component of understanding that sometimes it's good to get into those high-scoring affairs because you can kind of just run guys out of the gym rather than playing these low-scoring, because anyone can get to 60.
This is exactly the kind of game that Fresno State wants to play if it wants to leave Reno with a win and get to a winning record. 11-11 right now. 11-11 right now. The Bulldogs are coming off just a 6-win campaign a year ago. I think some credit should be thrown Coach Wahlberg's way as Price's 3 is left short. Pack really struggling now. 1 of 10 from deep. Gorey cross court. Hydebreeder. That's an open look.
Short.
He'll leave it short. Into the arms of Armo Trading it goes. Now here comes Price the other way. I should say Walker. Lowry back in, catch and shoot. Ball goes right to Walker.
Reball. Camper with the triple.
Second chance points. That's what you need to get this ball rolling, I think, for the Pack, is the easy, set up there for Corey. Get a little bit more energy. A couple people clapping here to try to get past his 4-point lead.
The crowd is slowly starting to awake itself as Gorey floats and misses. That was the Pack's first make in some 3 minutes. Down 4 with the ball. Walker with a head of steam. Back out to Lowry. He'll fake it. He's got a seam. Not going to get the and one, but he will get 2 free throws. Momentum on Nevada's side. Pack still trails by 4. 2 free throws to come. When we come back, you're watching Mountain West ball here in the biggest little city.
I am pretty flipping cold. Oh.
Tonight here in Boise.
Nope. So that always gets struck down with the copyrights. All right. Can I help you? Can I help you? Can I help you? Come on. Hello. Hi, Baba. Hi, buddy. You all right? Yeah? Come on. Yeah? Yeah. You okay? Yeah. There you go. Be careful. Be careful. Be careful. Wait. Okay, go ahead now. Good boy. Alright, so there's no food for you down there, bro. There's no food for you, okay? There's no food for you. Okay? Your food is upstairs.
Logistics, your hometown freight forwarder, handling your international and domestic shipping needs.
Back inside Lawler Events Center, Nevada, spending most of this first half trying to claw back, as we want to let you know the Renowned Health halftime report is on deck as we sit down with one-time Fresno State Bulldog turned silver and blue standout Elijah Price. Of course, highlights and analysis as well, and if time permits, a fun feature as the Pack spent some time with some local Make-A-Wish families. We'll work that in wherever we can. Your Renowned
There we go. Oh, that's so much better.
First, Nick Vazika, as the next 3.5 minutes of this first half, Nevada certainly wants to dominate.
Definitely want to
That
dominate.
is so much better.
This mountain, probably get that lead back going into halftime and kind of have an understanding that you didn't shoot the ball very well. It's 2 of 10 from 3 and 8 of 23 from the field. And if you can go into halftime
Nevada
with a lead, shooting those kind of
was down as much as 8. Now they're down 2.
Evens itself out into the second half, and you start making
Fresno
shots
State
pull away from Fresno. But
have not had a basket in over 2 minutes.
Big 3.5 minutes going in here where momentum could really shift one way or another.
47 shots between the two teams, 28 of them from behind the three-point arc. And just
out of bounds.
28, ball up, high breeder to the Pack. Scoring drought for Fresno State approaching 3 minutes.
Fresno losing a little bit of rhythm here offensively, and Pack trying to capitalize as you can hear the fans get into it a little bit more.
Certainly can credit that Nevada defenses. In our chat with Coach Alford, that was the first thing he was quick to mention. Defensive habits were slipping in those first 10-plus minutes at Boise State. Trying to get back to their bread and butter is Nevada. Bailey with it now, already under 10 to shoot. He'll take the screen from Coleman. The float game left short. Rebound to the Bulldogs, and Jack Manny recently checked in.
3 ball.
3 ball from Hydebreeder.
Oh, that's such a premature shot.
Ryan looks at the top of the rim when he goes and
Like, why are you taking shots like that? Set your offense. Get a clean shot.
Wallason thought about it for a second. Instead, they'll swing it around. Camper has it now. 7 points to lead the Pack. Bailey's
3 ball. Oh, in and out.
Another one halfway down and out for Chuck. As now Nevada is 2 of 13 from deep in this ball game.
Have to find somebody to make some threes going into this second half. I mean, it's just going to have to happen if you want to try to pull away from the Bulldogs.
Lowry chasing Reber.
Open 3 ball.
The 3 ball, no good.
Off the mark. There are lids on both of these rims for both of these teams right now.
Pack still looking for its first lead of this ball game.
Camper with the ball.
Surely working its way back.
Fresno State looking like they pushing the 2-3 zone.
The first one where it's just a low
Now switching over to man defense.
A lot of missed shots. No rhythm.
Oh, Inside and the bucket and the foul.
Foul call on the floor.
Foul on Nevada, but the bucket should still be good.
I believe will be good. Foul will go on Nevada, though.
Oh.
It goes on Chuck Bailey. So Lowry, a nice mature shot from the fifth-year player.
And you know, Mike, I've seen Lowry sometimes get stuck almost like where he likes to shoot the three. There's no questions asked, and I think he has the capability to shoot the three. And there's been times that I have seen him take that one dribble and not really be sure if he should shoot it or should he go. And I do like that shot for him where he takes that one dribble, you know, a couple feet inside that three-point line because it's just a really in-rhythm shot.
We got a 30-second timeout. We'll hang out. Caleb Lowry, 4 years at the NAIA level. He was a star for the Masters University in Southern California. Certainly has a D1 body and a D1 game, but you don't just show up to Nevada and play in the Mountain West and immediately make an impact. He has shown what he is capable of here and there, and that was a nice confident shot to tie this game up. Pack with a 7-0 run to climb back, as now the scoring drought for the Bulldogs is nearing 4.5 minutes.
Like you said, I mean, Caleb was a star at the Masters, and I mean, he could score the basketball. He was north of 2,000 points, and you know, doing that at any sort of university, even at the, I mean, nowadays even at the high school level, like getting 2,000 points is no joke. So it's like, it took him a little bit of time to get into the lineup. I know early in the season, I think Coach Alford was having trouble probably trusting him, probably mostly on the defensive end, just because he's kind of he's got a little bit of a tweener. Like you said, he does have a D1 body at like that 3 spot, but he kind of has to guard 4s, and he's a little bit undersized. But his scoring ability is definitely good enough to hang around in the Mountain West Conference. And yeah, great shot by him, and it's something that I enjoy seeing when he takes that one dribble pull-up.
Suddenly it's a brand new game. They're tied up at 28 as you're looking at the Campaniata Group rebound tracker. At one point, Fresno State had Nevada doubled up. Wolfpack, I think it's not a coincidence, closed the gap on the boards and have closed the gap on the scoreboard.
Yes, they have. I mean, you get missed shots and you tend to get more rebounds. It's kind of just how the math works out, Mike. And the Pack have been getting more and more stops, which equals more and more rebounds, and they've been making more shots, which is going to be less rebounds for the Bulldogs. So, like you said, brand new game with a
1 minute left.
Kind of don't really know which direction this game goes at this point.
Compelling one way or another as Collins fakes fire.
Hey, block.
Palm of Coleman. It's a block shot.
Under a minute ago in the first half.
Chance for
Nevada, oh, kick ball.
They'll roll it a kick ball.
That's lucky.
He initially disagreed.
I think he kicked it.
He won't fight it too hard, though.
I do think he kicked it.
He's trying to say, no, he threw it off my foot. 28 all, 52.4 on the clock. We expect to get Coach Alford's first half thoughts immediately after the horn.
The Pack they love that. They love the 2 big action on the block, and they run the shooter back and forth. And if you can just catch defenders slipping or sleeping, I mean, it can be a long night. We watched that against UNLV where Corey was kind of running back and forth, and UNLV got tired of chasing him, and you could just see where it was just kind of like, just the monotony of it just got old.
Oh, and he made him pay. Career high 32, and then he resets that career high Tuesday in Boise with 35 big ones. Worth noting, he had only taken 1 shot through that first 12 minutes. He still ends up with 35 points, so he can fill it up in a hurry. I say that all to say there's a lot of ball game left. Under 10 seconds left here in this first half. Bulldogs trying to take the lead. Gorey gonna have to shoot it with Lowry.
1-3 ball. Oh.
Not gonna go. And after 20 minutes, we are right back where we started. It is a tie ball game.
Tie game going into the half.
Take it away, guys.
Coach, a late 7-0 run there to tie the game. Just what adjustments do you feel like you guys needed to make on both ends of the floor to try and get some rhythm?
First 5 minutes, we guarded really well. They got 15, first 5, 13 the rest of the way. So offensively, we missed some easy looks, but they're doing a good job defensively, so we got to make some adjustments offensively.
Thank you, Coach.
Thank you, guys. Knotted up at 28. It is time for the Renown Health Halftime Report. Coming up next, we're sitting down with Elijah Price here in Reno.
All right, 28-28. We're at halftime. I will be back for the second half in just a bit. Mhm. Once again, we're taking a quick commercial break before we get back to the second half of Fresno State and Nevada. Game tied. Great back and forth action. What's up, Kevin? What's up, Pizza? Yeah, me too. Me too. No? You DM me yesterday? Where'd you DM me at? Why'd you remove it? So what? Why? Pizza. Why would you ask if I saw the message, right? And then said, "Oh, I removed it." What? No, I didn't. What was it about? Nevada shooting 14% from three is terrible. Everything else is pretty much identical. That's why we have a tie game of 28 at the half. Oh, okay. Yes, I did see that. I saw part of it. I was gonna go back and read it again, but yeah, you took it down. Yes, I did see that. I did see that. Yeah, you gotta fill me in, man. It don't help when he's like, "Oh, I removed it." I'm like, "Well, I don't know what you're talking about." Yeah, sure. Wait. Oh, bro, I need this heat to come back ASAP because this cold is not it anymore. Or are they? Mm. Yeah, that's the game. That's the game that we have right now. Let's get back into it.
Continue to get good shots, not get out of control and turn the ball over. He feels like they'll have a good chance of coming away with a victory here tonight.
Thank you, Shannon. Yeah, first few minutes feel very significant for both sides as Tyler Johnson now on the Fresno State bench. Right. He had a nice little career in the NBA. Yes, pretty cool to see him out here.
He had a great career in the NBA.
He was a good player.
Really good player.
Here we go.
Second half action is here. Bulldogs have it first. It's Reber with the rock. We've got a whistle.
Already?
Shot clock did not run.
Oh, okay.
And neither did the game clock. Only 1 second ticked off.
Oh.
More than 1 second were played. They'll tick it down to 1957. Shot clock to 27. And now we'll resume the second half.
Man, hell no, man. I ain't playing. I played a game earlier, man. I had the team win in, they lost by 1.
For Jack, pardon me. I'm curious, Nick Vazquez, having been a part of a lot of halftime breaks, how much can you adjust within a given game? I've heard some professional athletes say halftime adjustments are a little overrated.
Probably a little bit overrated. I think there's definitely maybe trying to find a rhythm as an individual, but I feel like, you know, an adjustment, it's kind of difficult. I mean, unless some teams just completely running the same set over and over and you just haven't figured it out, or
I got a couple bets in for the game tomorrow.
Mentally locking into the game plan. You know, Coach Alford and even Coach Wahlberg, they have the game plan that they want, and it's just a matter of, are you executing it? And I think sometimes you go into halftime where maybe there's a little bit of a reset just from an energy level standpoint. But I mean, the game plan is set. You know, Coach Alford's not going to go into the board and try to write a completely different game plan down just because you maybe might be down 10 or up 10. So.
First shot of the second half for Nevada is a 3, and it barely graces the rim for Lowry. Meanwhile, on Fresno's end, Fresno State's, you saw Reber with the nice.
I don't know why people listen. Bad Bunny finna kill it tomorrow. Ooh, good bucket.
Now Gorey, another freshman, rattles it through, and this looks like the Bulldogs that began the game with a 9-point lead.
Another just flat atmosphere here as Fresno just kind of takes control.
And out.
Price putting in a heck of an effort, not rewarded with the bucket, but he will get to the free throw line. Coach Wahlberg doesn't like the call. As you can already tell, a couple possessions in, there is a concerted effort to try to get
I'm gonna be right there.
Elijah
just maybe not as much energy as you're kind of used to. I mean, with only 2 rebounds, I mean, that's just kind of out of the ordinary for what Elijah brings, and you know, very automatic at the free throw line here of late. But I kind of wonder, you know, with the portal, Mike, it's like I wonder what it feels like to maybe, you know, stay in conference, but you're now wearing the silver and blue instead of wearing the red, and then you kind of go play the Bulldogs. I mean, of course, Coach Wahlberg and, you know, the majority of his staff probably know the weaknesses of what Elijah is, and I didn't get to experience that, so I just wonder what it feels like for Elijah to play against the Bulldogs again, and this is the second time this season. It just, I don't know, it's got to be some weird feelings as you kind of know a lot of the guys on the roster and you know all the staff.
Well, you said it, as Comer commits the foul some 80-plus feet away from the bucket. You saw Price get the quick pull there. Less than 90 seconds into the second half, Armo trading is into the game. Price did have 3 first-half fouls, certainly impacting his aggressiveness. And I was at that game in Fresno early at the start of the year, and he was quick to admit afterward this one meant a little more, and it was circled on the calendar when that schedule first came out. You don't see a ton of inter-conference transfers, and so you said it. I can imagine it's awkward to say the least. Douglas Jr.'s 3. Not going to go. Jack, though, on the rebound. Reber will fire one up.
Bucket.
Fresno coming out, knocking them down early here in the second half, and this crowd's going to get a little more restless if you keep this up in the second half.
You said it a couple different times, Nick. This is a Fresno team with not a ton to lose. 2-game winning streak, 11-11. They already know if they want to play in the postseason, they probably got to go win the Mountain West tournament or make a deep run. Nevada, this is a must-win for Nevada as Weems gets right to the rim. Glass in good. This is a Pac team that's already slipped up a couple times at home. Don't want to do it again.
Yes.
Sometimes the pressure is even more so on the home team, right?
Yeah, it's 100% true where it's just you're at home, and I mean, yeah, you got to find a way to beat a team that you are technically better than. I mean, on paper, record-wise, I mean, you've already beat them at their place. It just becomes a little bit of, like I said, the game plan, and maybe that's the adjustment at the second half where it's like you score 28 points.
Hey, yo, Moon Knight saved my life, man, Rivals. That's what he does, man.
Halftime and feel like you played the best. Did you run as hard as you could? Did you try to go get every rebound? And maybe that's something where your mindset can kind of come.
Moon Knight will do that for you.
Things a little bit differently, but other than that, I mean, you just have a nothing to lose team with a team that has a lot to lose.
And that's quite, frankly, exactly how we've seen this game play out thus far. Weems, 3, little strong. Bulldogs have it, up 3. Yet to trail in this game is Fresno State. Douglas Jr.
Oh, good spin move. Nice. Oh,
works his way into the
almost took the tape.
line, although he certainly paid for it. Still on the ground is David Douglas Jr.
David Douglas gets in here, makes a nice move, and then runs into a big Joel Armatrading. I think he fell on his tailbone, which is not a fun place to fall on a hardwood court.
The Green Bay transfer will head to the line for the first time tonight. 2 of 8 in the ballgame, all from deep. 75% he is. First one, nothing but the bottom.
They need to find some energy. I don't know if it's going to come from the bench. We talked about how they only scored 3 points against Boise off the bench, and it's like, is there going to be a bench?
Hey, bro, that's dope. That's so funny that you just said that. I literally just was watching the go-ahead bucket right now.
What's going on here? Right now, 5 bench points for Nevada. Just 2 for the Bulldogs.
That's crazy.
Douglas Jr. sinks them both. It's back to a 5-point lead for Fresno State. Here comes Tayshawn Comer. Right now, 0 for 1 in this game is Comer coming off a...
I'm good, bro. I'm cold, but I'm good, bro. I'm making it, man. How are you, bro?
Lowry going to get open. Corner 3. Lets it fly. Lips out. Collins corrals the rebound. And now he's got 2 Nevada defenders all over him. He'll get rid of it. Scary territory here for the Bulldogs, but they get it across.
Yeah, are you back home or no? 3 ball off the mark.
Ball rolls toward the out of bounds.
That's the big brain play.
Credit Kochevar.
Oh, okay, I'm about to say.
Heady play there.
So hold on. So you'll be back Monday. Okay. Stupid question. Stupid question.
Second-year roster for Wahlberg, some 75% new players this year. It is a melting pot.
Are you
Kind of seems like that's what happens for
are you getting access to the game as well? Like, are you going to be at the game tomorrow?
It's got to be hard to retain guys in the mid-major because if guys come out
like working
and play well, then you got the Carolinas, the Dukes, the Kansas that are definitely ready to write some big NIL checks for some guys.
Ah, okay, nice, man. Bro, I'm proud of you, man. I'm so happy for you, bro. I'm so happy for you, bro. Like real talk, bro. Can't nobody tell you anything, bro. You built your own lane, bro. And look where it got you, and look where it's gonna continue to take you, bro. Bro, I'm proud of you, bro. For real.
It's strong. Look at Weems skying for the rebound.
Oh,
gets another look.
Good take.
Nice pass down to Lowry, up and in.
Good bucket. Yeah, man. Nah, bro. I'm proud of you, bro. You know? And that, like, there's always, you know, I always say, man, just let this always be the reminder for you, bro. That, like, you know, that you are more than capable of holding your own in this space. And you were definitely going to, you know, if people don't want to, oh, good bucket. If people don't want to give you away, you gonna make a way. So this is meant for you, bro. And I'm so happy to see you. So happy to see you win, bro. For real. You've been working your ass off. So the fruits of your labor is actually like coming to fruition, bro. And it's really great. It's great to see you, bro. I'm really happy for you, bro. And I'm also happy that you took that chance, bro. You know, regardless of like whatever obstacles and situations. Ooh, bucket. I'm happy that you bet on yourself and you took that leap of faith, man. So like seeing you doing your thing now, man, it's great, bro. It's great to see you. Great to see you doing and winning and doing what you love, bro, for real.
We will soon find out. It will be 2 shots after
I understand. But the thing about it is that you got a foot in the door now, man. And if they try to close that door, put your foot right in there, man, and block it. You know, you're going to make it to the point where they have no choice but to hear you out.
Chris, we probably need to hit adjustment
sports fans, we cheer on our
Oh,
favorite teams
excuse
at
me.
fields, gyms, arenas, and stadiums. But have you ever wondered what it's like to be a referee? Verbal abuse from fans, parents, and coaches is the #1 reason why many referees are walking away, and they're not being replaced quickly enough by new ones. So put yourself in the official shoes, act with respect, and be officially human.
Yeah. You see, like, bro, I don't understand what's going on. Like, my YouTube ain't showing. I can't see my YouTube chat on my multi chat, man. So I gotta see what's going on with that. So I'm sorry if y'all was writing on YouTube and I didn't see it. I had to reconfigure my my kick one. Yeah. Nah, man, that's the best thing, bro. The fact that you learning something, bro. That's all that matters.
Wolfpack Basketball on NSN is brought to you by BTX Global Logistics, your hometown freight forwarder handling your international and domestic shipping needs. And by Renown Health, Nevada's first integrated academic health system.
40-37.
And thank you for the 3 stream streak.
Taking a quick look at our
pizza.
adjustment of the game brought to you by the Joint Chiropractic. Easier said than done, Nick Wazikas. Connect on the long ball. Sure enough, coming off a nice three-point make from Tayshawn Comer.
Easier said than done tonight, but as a scorer myself, Mike, and a guy who used to shoot the ball, I always felt like there was the law of averages, right? I mean, Nevada is by no means a 15.8% three-point field goal shooting team as they shoot 3 of 19, and so I do think there becomes a little bit of a balance here
pizza.
where it's like
Hold on
Coach
real
Alford
quick.
probably tells these guys
Do I have
to
it here?
shoot it confidently, and you know you see Tayshawn knock this one down, but you want to shoot it confidently, you want to instill the confidence, but at the same time, you probably don't want to shoot more threes than twos going down the stretch because it might not be your night as well. But big law of average guys here, where it's like eventually I feel like the lid has to come off from deep.
And that, frankly, maybe wasn't the best look. The shot clock was just winding down. He's got the ball in his hand. He's just got to fire it up. So maybe that's what gets the pack and its fans fired up as he goes 1 of 2 from the line. Nevada still trails by 2.
Yeah, I saw. I ain't gonna hold you. Now you know how I feel about AEW, but I will say that AEW NFL Lucha Mask, that's a very smart idea.
Now Gorey with the hot hand.
That is a very smart idea.
Floater left short. Price tips it around into the hands of Coleman. Here comes Camper Jr. One man to beat. Camper puts his head down, rolls off the rim. Out of bounds, ball to the Bulldogs.
Nevada showing some press. It looks like Coach Alford probably came
All
out
right.
of timeout. Change up the rhythm a little bit, Mike. I mean, Elijah's the
Yeah, that's true.
Man.
That is true.
Of course, this is Bulldogs team we talked about.
All right.
They turn it over a lot. 328 in the country, some 19 turnovers a game. And Coach Walker,
Yeah, man. I wish you had time to do interviews with them, because that would have been, bro. That would have been so great for you, bro. But at least if you, but if you find a way to at least connect with them.
Maybe get some contact there. Nevada defended it well. Now Comer's heading the other way. Step through. Everything but the bucket for Tayshawn Comer. And now the Bulldogs run. Gorey's ahead of Weems. Back out Highbreeder. Quick shot 3. Yeah.
Easy bucket. That was so clean. All right, Pizza, can you do me a favor?
You can see Gorey kind of flexing his muscles, and you can see that you let a team stick around, Mike, and they can bite.
Hey, man, let me know, bro.
It can sometimes just be
Let me know, bro.
possessions here and there that just kind of gets the
I don't want.
confidence. As the clock
All right,
ticking, you get
can
closer
you?
to the
There's a
end of the
channel
second
point
half.
redemption called ACK.
Confidence when you can stay this
Can you
close on the
redeem it
road.
real quick?
You saw Gorey sort of had that look in his eye when that 3 went in from his teammate. Looking around the crowd as if to say, you guys stay quiet. We're going to keep doing our thing. Gorey and Highbreeder have played all but a couple minutes of this ball game thus far. in for Nevada. Bailey, Rawlison. Now Coleman's in there with Camper Jr. and Price. Again, no Peyton White tonight, and he has been an impact freshman as a first-year player. Not even in the building.
Yeah,
with an illness.
Ricochet's a clown for that.
Shoot three, left it way short. Right to Corey it goes. Bulldogs have it back.
Okay, no.
Corey just not with the same rhythm that he had
Oh.
with Boise, right, Mike? I mean, just like he's getting these screens and he looks like he's on balance, and it's just like they're not even. I don't want to say remotely close, but I mean that one barely touched the rim.
So you Bossu now? What does that mean?
22 effort Tuesday in Boise. High breeder. With the big Coleman on him. Passes
Oh, good rip.
Stolen by Price. One man to beat. Elijah right.
Easy.
Transition. Get stops, get buckets. I mean, that's the way to get back in this thing and kind of take over.
Gorey right to the rim.
Wow.
You talk about mid-major guys that are going to get some looks. I hate to speculate, but I can imagine Gorey's phone's going to be ringing.
Yeah, I'm sure it already is, Mike. I'm sure it already is.
No
I guess.
It's an interesting period in college sports we might look back on and wonder about in some years to come. Price went up for the rebound. Looked like he was held down, and he was. A foul will go on, I believe, Douglas Jr., who then, to his credit, gives Price a high five as if to say, my bad. Bulldogs with a 5-point lead. We're taking a break. 11:36 left in the second half.
Okay, never mind. So we're going to remove.
Credit Union One Free Checking has everything you need to bank on the go. Make deposits and more with our highly rated mobile app. And get your direct deposit up to 2 days sooner with C1 Early Pay. Open your account.
It didn't work how I needed it to work. I mean, it worked, but it didn't work how I needed it to.
Designed to hydrate better than water. Made to rehydrate, replenish, and refuel, so you can lose more sweat and run the game. Gatorade, is it in you?
Man, these commercial breaks take so long, bro.
Today's broadcast on Nevada Sportsnet is brought to you by The Joint Chiropractic. Visit 5 Northern Nevada locations. Your first visit is just $29. And by Toyota. Let's go places.
Welcome back to Roller Events Center. When speaking with Bulldogs head coach Vance Wahlberg, he told us Fresno State went the international route this offseason. There's 7 international players on the Bulldogs roster, so more than half of the team is bilingual. In total, the team can speak 13 different languages, so from French to Hebrew, Italian, you name it. But Makan Diouf of Senegal, he tops the Bulldogs roster and can speak 5 different languages.
Color me impressed, Shannon Kelly. How about that? A League of Nations on the Bulldogs sideline. And admittedly, Coach Wahlberg, and he's been open about this to the local media, Fresno State's NIL situation leaves a little bit to be desired. And he admitted that was part of why we had to go the international route, because we, quite frankly, cannot afford a lot of these American
Nah, I mean, yes, you're right, but you know,
roadmap for
maybe just taking a while.
NIL to kind of look overseas, and you can definitely put a roster together, and it's probably got to be a lot of fun for these guys with the camaraderie and kind of like learning about other cultures, especially when you're picking from Europe and obviously Africa. I mean, you got guys from all over. I don't know if the 13 languages is too helpful inside the locker room, but at the end of the day,
They might have to hire a translator, a well-rounded, maybe multiple, as you saw Price go up strong with the left, back to a one-possession game approaching the midway point of this second half. You can feel the tension rising on each possession as both of these teams try to pick up a big win for different reasons. Download a jacket goes.
Hey, you instead of paying the network. How you missed the dunk, bro? Yo, give me your jersey. Give me your jersey, bro. Give me your jersey. Go to the locker room, bro. Think about what you just did, bro. How you missed the dunk and you gave up 3 points on the other end of the court. And that's a tie game.
Big swing, 5-point swing when you get an easy dunk. Get Corey to flex again, and instead he misses the dunk, and Corey standing wide open in the three.
Corey gonna take a shot to the face right there. As it looked like
Why you so tight? Because why you missing the easy dunk? That's 2 easy points. And then you hang it on the rim. That means now your team is a man down on defense. They score a 3-point basket, and now the game is tied. That's poor basketball. Well, no. You don't let it slide. You know why? Because when you let it happen once, it means the tendency of happening it again can happen. And then now you lose it. Do better.
First free throw, no good though. As it is certainly the loudest it's been all game long here at Lawler Event Center. Last time out, the energy was high from the opening tip. Of course, a different red team was here in the running Rebels. Gorey's second free throw, not gonna go.
Maybe TR had something to complain about. A little bit louder.
Knotted at 45, under 10 to go. Rollison, patient, floater, foul, Reber. And now it's gut check time if you're the visitors, and this is a young group, a lot of international players. They've certainly played in tight games this year and coming off a miracle win. Can they do it on the road, though? As now we get a look at Nevada's free throw proficiency, one of the best teams in the country, tops of the Mountain West. Right now, 11-13. That has been a part of Steve Alford's DNA throughout his entire career, certainly here at Nevada.
Definitely something to hang your hat on when you're making those kind of free throws. You're able to slow the game down, and you're able to break the rhythm of the game if you need to, right, Mike? I mean, at times when you're able to make free throws at a very efficient rate like the Pack do, you're stopping the clock, guys are getting a breather, plus you're getting 2 points back on the board, plus the clock is working in your favor. But also a great way to get back into games, but big-time run breakers when you can get to the free throw line and knock them both down.
And you talk about a run, it's 7-0 for Nevada and a first lead of the ball game for the home team. It comes after the 10-minute mark of the second half. Over 2 minutes without
Nevada finally in the lead. What's good, Walter?
Who will break the visitors' drought? Collins will try. He's going to have to shoot it. 3 on the shot clock. Step back.
Block it. Oh.
Ball into the hands
Nevada with the rebound. Walter, how you feeling tonight, man?
Reset with Rollison. Bailey's got a head of steam.
Oh, he tried to bang on somebody's head, man.
Bulldogs have it back. Weems tips it off.
Still by Nevada.
Of high breeder. Bailey gonna get another chance.
Bro.
Lowry on the putback.
There we go.
Big time putback there by Caleb. Big time, because Chuck got a little out of sorts there and forcing the Bulldogs here into a big time timeout.
Timeout, Coach Wahlberg. He wants to discuss, I think, things with the officials and with his team. We'll take it to Pack has the lead, the momentum, and the fans at Lawler finally on their feet. 49-45, Nevada leads. A lot of ball game left. We're back in a flash.
Yeah, bro. This business, my guy, watch another perfect stream. I appreciate you, bro. Appreciate you.
Old Trapper beats. One upping.
I'm a big Old Trapper fan. Not bigger than me. I love Old Trapper. I love how tender it is. Don't forget the wood smoke flavor.
What about the clear bag?
That shows you exactly what you're getting. Savory beef. Quality ingredients. I'm their biggest fan.
Old Trapper, what's your beef?
What do you think is going to happen in this match in Puebla?
The hell? All right. Yeah, bro. We solid, man. We looking good, bro.
Today's broadcast on Nevada Sportsnet is brought to you by Campani Auto Group. Visit Dick Campani's Capital Ford and Carson City Toyota because cars cost less in Carson. And by Savage & Son, serving the Northern Nevada community for over 130 years.
Oh, how things can change in just the span of a few minutes. Over the last 2:14, it's a 9-0 Nevada run. Over the last 3:05, Fresno State has it moved on the scoreboard. Stuck at 45 points are the Bulldogs. They have the rock now, and Nick Maziquez, I know there's a lot of ball game left, but this feels like a very significant possession for Fresno State.
It is a very significant one to break this 9-0 run, try to find a bucket, because it's getting louder here in this arena, and you can tell the Packer kind of looking for
8:43 left to go.
Pull away here. I wouldn't say the knockout.
Nevada with a
like,
4-point lead.
Extending this 4-point lead if you can.
Reber with Rolliton on him, under 5 to shoot. Right into that.
Good rep.
He telegraphed it. It's another pack steal.
And a pass. Oh, and another one. Hey. Hey.
He had top 10 Sports Center dreams on that one, Nick.
Well, we don't need to hope. You know, we only thing we need to hope is that the board sees enough success because they're gonna be the one making the decision.
But I mean, that's 2 free throws.
Talk about going hard in the paint, though. I
will
say,
I'll be right back.
Jack is tough to move. He sort of just said, "You're gonna stop and just jump straight up in the air right now." Gets him to the line for 2, though.
Wilson Jack is not happy. But I mean, aggressive play. I mean, you want to shoot free throws. I mean, that's what Nevada's good at. And I mean, it definitely probably was a foul. I just think it was a little bit of an abnormality of a play when you try to dunk the ball from that far with a 7-footer, and you got to be jumping pretty high to do something like
Tell you
that.
what, though, Price knew what he was doing as Jack is back on the bench and frustrated as he now has 4 fouls in this ball game. Price, though, cannot make him pay at the line, but how about Vaughn Weems? The lefty using the strong hand, bringing down the offensive board. Free throw blockouts are something very near and dear to Coach Alford's heart. And sure enough, the Pack gets another chance at the strike.
Unacceptable play. I can remember when I was at Pacific and I missed a free throw block out when I was a freshman at Pacific, and I didn't think I was going to get to go home on the bus that night. That's how
they're leaving you in Stockton.
I thought they were.
Weems gets it to go, so a new life on this possession for Nevada, courtesy of Vaughn Weems, who really has been a steady producer for Nevada on both ends of the floor. Self-proclaimed himself this week on the Wolfpack Coaches Show as the best dunker on the team. That has proven true in a couple different moments throughout the season. Coming from the JC level, where he was one of the best players in the country at North Idaho College. Not a bad place to play college ball, Coeur d'Alene, Idaho.
Great golf course in Coeur d'Alene, Idaho.
You would say that.
With the moving par 3.
The floating green, yeah.
The floating green.
Iconic. You take a little boat out to the green, but we digress. Bulldogs going to try to get back in rhythm here and get to the line. Although perhaps that's a foul on the floor. I think it is. Baseline out of bounds. Coach Wahlberg, you can see top left of your screen, disagrees. He wants to see his guy at the stripe. Camper Jr., meanwhile, will check back in for Lowry. Big stretch for Caleb Lowry. He brought a ton of energy on both ends.
Caleb's a great guy that's kind of been inserted, like we were talked about in the beginning of the year. Kind of took a little bit of time for him to find his place, and now he is that starter. And there's nights he plays more minutes than others, but offensively he can bring something each and every night. And when he's bringing it defensively, he's definitely a positive for the Pack on both sides.
Another foul call here on the floor as it goes against Nevada. Both teams will now be shooting free throws the rest of the way. Bulldogs will inbound here. Nevada still on a run, 11-0. Bulldogs still stuck at 45 points as that drought nears 4 minutes of game time. And I think the Pack deserves a lot of the credit for this scoring drought.
Putting a little more pressure defensively.
Nevada up by
Fresno
6.
State's, their passes have just been very error-ridden. That's been very apparent as they've gotten more and more turnovers. Wow, that's a crazy call there, but Vaughn flew up high to get that rebound, and Fresno's really struggling to score right now on that 4-minute drought.
Fresno gets new life and a new possession as Weems is called for the travel. That leads us right into the under 8 timeout. I know you're not going anywhere, folks. 51-45, Nevada leads. The boos rain down.
My goodness, this is such a low-scoring game.
In just a minute.
As sports fans, we may cheer for different teams, but there's one thing that we can all agree on. We want the game to be big. And with 3 levels, 30 cabanas, a 143-foot screen, 6 clean pools, and endless cold drinks, it doesn't get any bigger or any better than Stadium Swim in Las Vegas. All sports, all seasons. It's more than a pool deck. Stadium Swim. It's the only thing like it in the world.
Oh, the weekend's been fun. You know, the weekend's been fun. You know, I just be feeling like the weekend now it'd be so short. You know, like just like there's so much stuff that you have to do that you feel like it's like you just don't you ain't got time to do stuff. I mean, he might.
We are just having a great time with some of the local Make-A-Wish families.
Excited?
Let them interact with the players, be out on the floor, make some shots.
Oh, yeah. I think it's a great experience, just giving back. There you go. One kid, he couldn't even sleep the night before, so that puts a smile on our face.
This was a few Sundays ago. What a cool scene as the Pack welcomed a handful of Make-A-Wish families in for practice and a pizza party, autographs all around. Nevada over the last handful of years has leaned into Make-A-Wish specifically, but the team also does a lot of children's hospital visits, Boys and Girls Club. You see Tanya Alford, the amazing wife of Coach Steve Alford. That's a big part of being a D1 athlete too, is just putting some smiles on faces, right, Nick?
It totally is, Mike. I mean, I was a big believer, and I still even have to this day when it's like you're idolized, right? I mean, you've got kids that look up to you whether you realize it or not. I mean, even if you're not playing that many minutes, just being a Division I athlete is huge. And I sign every autograph, right? I mean, there's going to be at some point at time that, you know, this is obviously the peak of some of these guys' careers, and signing autographs and making a kid's day is just like that's something that you're never going to be able to do.
On the play. Oh, is he hurt?
20 years down the road, no one's going to be asking for your autograph. So it was always good for me, and it was always fun to sign as many autographs because you can remember when you were a kid and you got so-and-so's autograph, you'll never forget that day the rest of your life. So definitely something to treat very carefully as a Division I athlete.
Yes, and the guys were well aware that some of those kiddos involved on that special day have frankly been to hell and back. And they're well aware that what those kids and those families have went through is much harder than anything these players have to go through. And it's not easy being a high-level Division I athlete. But that, I think, was certainly a grounding, humbling kind of night for them, and we were happy to be a part of that via Nevada Sportsnet as well. You saw Reber take a knee, it looked like, to the thigh. By the way, with your jersey hanging up in the rafters forever, there'll be a lot of folks that still learn about you 20 years from now. I'm excited to teach my kiddos one day about the great Nick Fazekas.
I appreciate that, Mike. I mean, yeah, it was – we never got in touch with the Make-A-Wish, but we tried to do a lot of stuff with kids and camps. And like I said, it's just – it's so memorable, and it's like you think about
no, he caught a knee to the thigh.
The kids that are going to want to play basketball.
He caught a knee to the thigh.
That's kind of where things change. That's where culture changes. And I've seen it firsthand, you know, playing so many years that I did in Japan. And I've watched that kind of like form into what it is now, where the national team is now this and that. Yeah. And, you know, qualifying for World Cups, playing in Olympics. And it's like, that's because of the kids that want to play now 10 years from now. So it's a big thing, and like I said, it needs to be treated
under
with
7 minutes left to
respect.
go in the game. Nevada still up by 6. Fresno State still on the scoring drought.
Pat got to the line. Comer missed the front end of the one-on-one, but it's another offensive rebound.
Nice floater. Bucket. Good.
His first field goal. Nevada's lead is up to 8, largest of the game. And this one slowly but surely slipping out of the hands of the Bulldogs as Comer will be called for the foul. That'll get Hydebreeder to the line. And this now nearly 5-minute scoring drought has a good chance of ending with the 90% free throw shooter heading to the stripe. These are scary hours, though, if you're the visitors right now.
Very scary hours. I mean, this is when the crowd's going to start getting into it. All these shots are going to be a little bit amplified. Each and every make that goes through is going to be a little bit bigger than what it was in the first half. And Fresno's in a little bit of the danger zone. You hope that your A+ free throw shooter knocks both of these down to get this at least back down to 6. But yeah, Fresno's in the danger zone here.
Nothing but the bottom. First shot for Hydebreeder. You see Coach Wahlberg, we of course were quick to ask him in our phone chat about his star guard and leading scorer. He was priority number 1 in the portal offseason. But Coach Wahlberg didn't even mention his play for the first few seconds of his answer. He said, this is a kid that is just as good as advertised off the floor, a great student, a good young man, and he's a heck of a player as well. Spent last year at Clemson and then came back to the Mountain West. Hello, Tyler Rollison. Everything but the finger roll, as somehow it ends up in a tie-up, and the ball will stay with Nevada. So once again, a fortunate, maybe not so much fortunate, is that Nevada earns itself another possession there off of a miss.
This feels like a second chance point when it might not go there, but you know, we used to call this.
Ooh, almost had that though.
I love TR. We used to call that $1 million move nickel finish.
Yeah.
And those ones are the ones you got to go down.
Everything but the bucket.
Yeah.
6-point lead, 6:20 on the clock.
Damn. Offensive foul.
An offensive foul as Camper was trying to get open. Coach Alford, as you can see, not in agreement. Ball to the Bulldogs, and a big possession on deck for Fresno State. Now they might look closer at it if my lip reading is up to par. I think Steve Alford said that's not a flagrant foul. And sure enough, we're heading to the monitor. I believe that's 2 visits if we're keeping track at home, maybe 3. We got all the time in the world. Let's get a look. Camper trying to get freed up here.
I mean, not a flagrant foul in my book. I mean, this is I mean, I guess maybe he hit him a little bit high, but I just don't know if it's a flagrant. I don't think he like maliciously went after him with that elbow, and I think he's just trying to get open, and he.
Sure enough, it is a quick look at the monitor.
Like, let's get your take. Do you like
what I bet on? What's up, Cam?
Like replay. Let's go all sports.
Look like a 3-legged dog.
I know John Ramey don't like replay.
Nah,
on the radio
I need Cavs minus 6.5. To my all my bets have I've been on a cold streak past couple of weeks.
I'm glad they don't review pass interference anymore in the NFL. That was a weird one-year experiment. By the way, can I get a Super Bowl pick?
Super Bowl pick.
Super Sunday on
we
deck.
talked about it. I do think the Seahawks do it. I think that defense is almost Legion of Boom Part 2.
I've been struggling, man.
They're gonna come out and muck that game up, and they're gonna make it really hard for Drake and the Patriots.
All right, back to the action at hand. Highbreeder right to the
Ooh, nice finish.
The English off the glass. He's got teammates from just about everywhere. I don't know. The English was there. I will see myself out.
Oh, I won something.
Bulldogs get their first field goal in a long while. Back within 4.
Oh yeah. Shout out North Carolina. North Carolina winning. Ooh, that was. I needed that one.
Hit the mid-range. Highbreeder says we're going the other way. Price with an illegal screen, and the boos rain down again here at Lawler.
Yeah, see? All right. Yeah, I've lost. I had
Game's getting a little clunky again.
215.
It is getting clunky. I don't know where that call comes from.
Man, suck it up with a cold. Shut your ass up.
I mean, he rolled into him a little bit. I mean, for a fourth
It's 16 degrees here. Shut your ass up.
But
and it's windy, so it feels worse.
Still 6 to go. I mean, you gotta. Maybe this is Jariah checking in, but Elijah's got to be careful. He doesn't want to.
What's that?
He doesn't want to
1,
I'm sure they're gonna go right
2, 3. Damn, I went 8 out of 11.
He's got 4 as well. He kicks it out. Fans wanted to travel, a collective travel signal throughout the stands instead of foul on Nevada, and Steve Alford is as fired up as I've seen him in the last couple of months. He wants an explanation because suddenly what could have been a turnover ball to Nevada is going to be 1-and-1 free throws for Fresno State. Pardon me, make it 2 free throws. I believe you're seeing the father of Elijah Price right here wanting to travel.
Let's see here, Mike. I'm not sure. Jack is there. His feet kind of dragging. I mean, it dragged a little bit there, but ball don't lie.
First free throw, no good for Douglas. His first miss of the night. Entered 75% from the line. We saw Gorey miss 2 in a row not too long ago. Staring right at that raucous student section. Second free throw. Bottoms. Back to a 1-possession game.
3-point lead.
How quick does Coach Alford send Elijah Price back into this game, approaching the 5-minute mark, back by 3. Comer will drive, float game, glass way off.
Oh,
Jackson.
bad play.
And now into Collins. Bulldogs pushing. Douglas will go right at Comer. Stop.
Listen,
fade, floater,
you decide to live in Canada, so you decide to live with that nonsense. I will never.
Mostly because Steve wants to give the official a little bit of his 2 cents.
Negative 22. What I look like?
This will be a 30, so we will stick around. 53-52. I know folks aren't going anywhere at this point, Nick.
We said this almost feels like deja vu. It's going to be like almost a race to get this 60 or maybe 65 here, where it's an easy thing to do. Maybe not on a night like tonight, but I mean it's fingernail biting time at this point for everybody here in this gym.
As we get a look at that Fazekas 22 hanging in the rafters, I want to throw a little curveball at you, my friend, because I dug into the Nevada Sportsnet archives, baby. How about those uniforms? We're going back in the time machine 20 plus years. Nevada, Fresno State. You had some pretty good games against the Bulldogs.
I did have some really good games against the Bulldogs. Fresno was really, really good back when I played, right? I mean, they had some pros. They had the guys like Quentin Osley, McGuire. Obviously, Paul George came through there. We didn't quite get hit his time, but Fresno had very, very competitive teams, and they brought it each and every night. And I actually did always enjoy playing over there at the Save Mart Center. It was always kind of a fun arena to play in.
That's a great venue. Back to 2026. That was a fun trip on the time machine, though. Pack with the ball up 1. I do have another note on your time against the Bulldogs, though. When we have a moment, wins!
And 1.
Having a moment himself. That's a massive bucket and 1 out of the timeout. Weems can make it a 4-point game at the line. 4:36 to go.
Key point here, Mike, is Jock just fouled out.
That he did.
And that's going to be a big blow, as it may entice Coach Alford to bring Elijah back, especially if Jariah maybe doesn't match up so well, but no longer that big body down there to kind of create havoc. And I mean, Elijah has 4 as well, so they go back into Jock, and it was like he could have got 5, but it was kind of like the pack won the race to who could foul out first.
Jack fouls out 4 points in 20 minutes, 7 rebounds. He was a +7. He'll spend the rest of the night on the bench. Pack by 4. This is Coach Javar now in. Reber with it. Kills the dribble, back out to Collins. 15 seconds to shoot.
Luka pass. Luka block. What a block.
The SWAT team has been called on a Saturday night in Reno. Pack up 4 to go with the ball. Rolisic, step back 3. Ball tipped around, stays with Nevada. Credit the effort.
Winning basketball players there, Mike, when you can get those 50-50 balls late in the game like that. Those are winning basketball plays.
Camper looking to reinsert himself, and he does.
Big time bucket there by Corey to push this thing out to 6s. Trying to get a couple people on their feet clapping.
Corey gets his hand in the passing lane there. It sticks with Collins, who will try to score on Camper. Instead, has to kick it back out. Coach Javar sees that long frame of Coleman, gives it up. Corey, that's a big 3. Around the rim and down.
3-point game. They are going back and forth now.
3 to go. Gory leading all scorers with 17. Heidbreeder took a bit of a hit as he walks gingerly back to the bench. We've reached a timeout, and I think we all could use a breather. 3:01, 3-point game. Buckle up here in the biggest little city.
Three minutes left to go in the game.
Energy emergency. Old Trapper, what's your beef?
Credit Union One offers everything you need to get the most out of your accounts.
We could probably watch one of them.
You can pay bills online, set up
I'm honestly ain't really trying to stay up too late. It's like I said, I'm really cold out here. It sucks. Like downstairs where my stuff is, it's cold.
Today's game,
I'm fine with it. All depends on how I feel, man.
Nevada Toyota dealers, and by Renown Health, Nevada's first integrated academic health system.
Winning time inside Lawler Event Center. Nevada leads 58-55. Bulldogs back within a possession after a big-time shot from Deshaun Gorey, who leads all scorers with 17. No shot bigger than that one, Nick.
There was no shot bigger than that, but the mistake that was made there was Caleb had kind of been double-teaming the whole game, I think, with Elijah in the game. And I think that was part of the game plan. And now you have Jariah down there without the mismatch, and Caleb went down there to double when he wasn't supposed to, and you could see Coach Alfred looking at him like we weren't supposed to double, which was what got Gorey that wide open 3. So
Gorey made him pay.
Those are the.
If you say Patriots winning tomorrow, you bugging?
When it comes to the game plan,
I mean, listen, man, it's anyone's game, bro.
Plays, especially in the waning moments of contests, especially as you get toward March, can't have those lapses. Nevada, though, still with the ball in the lead. Swing it around. Rollison in front of his bench. Yeah.
Nice answer by TR after giving up that 3 to Gorey. And the time isn't ticking for the Bulldogs.
Fresno State, do the Bulldogs have another miracle comeback in? And Reber has a lane. How about the recovery defense led by Von Weems, as Reber thought he might have an easy 2. Instead, the Pack recovers and snags a 40th rebound of this contest.
Big possession here, Mike. I mean, you get one here, and it just starts to kind of turn into a time game.
Reber hit the deck. Rollison says, I'll go do something with it. Oh, how about Lowry taking it right off the rim and giving the Pack another possession in an open camper 3.
I think it's over.
It's just been offensive rebounds, Mike. I mean,
I think Fresno might be done.
With free throw blockouts, and then another block out there that Fresno wasn't able to get, and Corey made him pay.
You had mentioned not being at knockout punch territory a few minutes ago. 64-55. That may be the Mortal Kombat finish him move.
Oh,
Corey
not the fatality.
Time will tell, because of course this is a Fresno State team coming off a game in which it scored quite literally a dozen points in the final minute or so. Although UNLV had to have a lot of miscues to make that possible. 20 points in the last 2.5 minutes Fresno State scored against UNLV.
That's impressive.
Running Rebels, meanwhile, bounced back with a nice win over GCU yesterday. I say that all to say Fresno State has been here, as in just a few days ago, but that was at home. And I don't know if Nevada's going to have as many self-inflicted wounds as UNLV had. And so the Pack might escape with a maybe closer than expected win. 148 to go, though. I won't get too far ahead of myself.
Corey just, you know, he just didn't shoot the ball, I think, at Corey Camper level that sort of Pack fans are used to. But, I mean, 3 of 7 from 3 is still a solid night. It's just, I mean, he's been so hot from behind the arc that it felt like every time he shot the ball, it was going to go in. But, I mean, 3 of 7, I know I would take that back when I played. And, you know, he just made a big one there to extend this thing out to 9. But Fresno is, they're going to need some big shots. They're going to need some things to go their way, probably some missed free throws, turnovers. They're going to have to try to find a way to mess up the rhythm with probably some pressing and some pressure to kind of get back in this thing. Because like you just said, Mike, that might have been the knockout blow by Corey right there.
Nevada has really turned it up on the defensive end in this second half, as Fresno State has had few good looks.
Free ball, and that's a block.
Hands of Weems, give him a block, give Nevada the ball. Campani auto group rebound tracker. At one point, Fresno State was the first to 10 boards, and boy, Nevada has come out and really overtaken that stat, and that has been a big part of this game. 26-12 paint scoring as well for Nevada.
It just kind of turned it up a notch with the rebounds. Like you said, it kind of just changed the game. I know at one point we said they were doubled up, and then it got back to even, and that was when it was 28-28. Now it almost became who could win the rebounding battle was going to win the game, and sure enough, Packer up 9 here, going back to the free throw line, and they're up on the rebound battles as well.
64-55. Rollison's fouled, goes to the line. He'll get 2. TR with 7 points in 21 minutes, 4 rebounds, 5 assists. Maybe a good time to just kind of reflect on the series history, if you will. Nevada has won 17 of the last 18 against Fresno State. Of course, next year, this Bulldogs team will be a part of the new look Pac-12. How about this 115th meeting? Do you know, this is since 1924, by the way, do you know who Nevada has played the most? Second most is Fresno State. Who has Nevada played the most, Nick Fazikos?
The most?
I'm putting you on the spot.
Goodness, I would have no idea.
Same state.
Is it? Is UNLV?
Hydebreeder. No, sorry, same state as Fresno.
Oh, sorry, same state as Fresno. So that is a great question. I'm trying to think of who was in the league even when I was in the league. It was like San Jose State.
Bingo. Spartans. Got them by a couple meetings, but this is a series history that goes back over 100 years. Price is going to foul out as he will get a little ovation as he heads to the bench. 10 points, 8 rebounds against his former squad. Also a pair of really timely steals for Elijah Price, who, of course, we featured during halftime. This will be win number 70 for Nevada over Fresno State. Final matchup as conference foes, unless they meet, of course, at the Mountain West Conference Tournament. Want to point out, though, that first game in the 1924-25 season, Nevada won. Final score 23-20.
20.
A real barn burner 100 years ago.
Oh my goodness. 23-20.
Talk about a lid on the rim.
Yeah. Rim had to be crooked to be shooting 23 points.
Pat gets to 66. 66 might be enough to do it for Nevada. 66-57 your score. Under a minute to play. Fans starting to head for the exits.
This is a wrap.
It's really hard, Mike. I mean, as a Fresno State team, and it's just really difficult when you only score 57 points. I mean, you just can't expect really to win too many games, especially on the road. I mean, you just have to be you got to be a defensive juggernaut to score this low and kind of get away to win.
Good bucket.
I mean, Fresno did not shoot the ball very well, but Nevada almost shot it just as poorly. I think Nevada just made a better effort in the second half with the rebounds and second chance points, and just kind of exerted a little bit more energy.
You said it, advantage Nevada in a lot of categories. In the final 20 minutes of this one, as now a mass exodus will take place. 19.4 on the clock. You just saw Rollison get to double digits. 11 points, 5 assists. 4 of the last 5 shots for Nevada have went in, as now Nevada jumps into a significant week. It is a bye work week, as Nevada will have a bit of a break, and perhaps at great timing, as Nevada now heads to Viejas Arena a week from tonight, a Valentine's Day matchup with the class of the conference, San Diego State. Nevada has never left Viejas Arena with a win. Would that not be poetic in their final meeting as Mountain West foes?
Be huge. I mean, a Valentine's game with the Valentine's win would be really, really big, but it's a tough place to play. And San Diego State, like I've said in several other broadcasts, it's like they're kind of the king of the mountain, right? They're the king of the hill. They've been that king for several years now with the mountain.
Carnage, thank you so much for the 30-month resub. I appreciate you, bro. I'm doing good, man. How are you?
Had a good year. Kind of let the one here.
Stay with me, push play. You're the only cat this side of Mississippi with this kind of content. I got you, bro. I got you. It's over. We're good.
I think it's going to be a really big test.
Nevada handles business at home, 69-59 over Fresno State.
Big victory for the Wolfpack. 10-point victory over Fresno State.
We're going to step away for a quick minute. Shannon Kelly will have our player of the game when we return.
All right, y'all. Carnage, I hope you're doing good, man. Thank you so much for the resub. I appreciate you. Walter on YouTube, thank you so much for always coming through, showing love. Bro, can you believe that Hiromu? Yeah, man. Hiromu's gone. Bro, everybody from LIJ is like just leaving, bro. And it's weird. It's weird, bro. All right, y'all. That is it for us tonight. I appreciate y'all, man. Thank y'all so much for hanging out with me. I should be on. I don't know if I have anything for tomorrow. Let me double check. The next time I think I should be on will be probably Tuesday. Yeah, Tuesday. February 10th, we got Fresno State against Utah State. Then we got OVW Rise on Thursday, and then OVW Tough Love on Sunday. All right. I hope y'all have an amazing night. Thank y'all so much. Please continue to stay warm. Please continue to take care of yourselves. I love y'all. I hope y'all have an amazing one. I will see y'all on Tuesday. Peace. And also happy Super Bowl Sunday.